Hi everybody, this is Eric with Motion Guidance. I'm going to take you through a tutorial today on the different applications of the different games that we have on our Motion Guidance Interactive app. And we're going to take you through the most unique aspect of this particular system, which is the laser mode. So we'll be going through that today. Right now you can see my Motion Guidance reaction pods are blinking over here, so they haven't been Bluetoothed yet, but when they are on and they are of good battery, they will be blinking green. So we're going to take our ball and socket mount, the perpendicular one, we're going to put it on a head cradle with one of our straps and put the Motion Guidance Interactive laser on top of that. We'll give that to our patient here. And while she's doing that, I'll go into the first app game. It's going to be random light up, and I'm going to hit reconnect. And as these reconnect and Bluetooth with our pods, you'll see them go from flashing green to just silent on the pod with no color. That's how you know they're all connected. So remember, with the neuro station, we have our magnetized discs backing on the magnetic side of the interactive pod. We also have the Velcro back there for variations of how you can set this up. If you do have the neuro station, you'll get the magnetized disc, and these will just slide around onto the neuro station, and you can put these wherever you want. That's one of the great aspects of the Motion Guidance Interactive system with the neuro stations, is that you can create your own patterns, so they're going to be patient specific or client specific, and you can move them around. If the pods are clustered tighter together, that's obviously going to be a little bit easier, or working on very narrowed aspects of reaction. And if we want to slide them out, it's going to be tougher for our clients. All right, so now these are hooked up. I'm going to have my patient in good posture. This looks really good right here. So I'm just going to take this laser and point it toward the center of those pods, turn it on, and that's going to be kind of my standard setup for these, is around that bullseye. So for random, we want to make sure that laser mode is selected. Colors, you're going to have up to 6 color options that you can choose from. You can choose as many as you want to really randomize it, or you can use very specific colors for the patient needs. You can select how many targets are going to come up. Right now, we're just going to have one at a time for this introduction. The delay is how quickly the pod reloads to a different pod or the same pod after it's been interacted with. So if it's a 1 second delay, it's going to be 1 second to light back up after it's been turned off with either touch or laser mode. And if you want to have a range of 1 to 4 seconds, you can choose that. Or if you want to have them super fast, it would just light up almost immediately. The pod switch time is going to tell you how long the pod's going to be on before it refreshes if it's not interacted with. So if you need a basic setup, you're probably going to turn the pod switch time off or have it be a very high number. If you're working with someone who's more used to the system or working with performance with your athlete, then you are going to want to have that as super low. You can always check out our presets that we have with the app as well, which tell you 5 different levels, so you can progress through those to try to master these games without having to go through and change a bunch of functions. So let's go ahead and hit the start button. And what's going to happen is a pod will come on, and she's going to take the laser right over the pod, and it's going to interact with it and turn it off. If I feel like she's doing very well and she's reacting very cleanly and not having a struggle with any of these pods, I can always change these up as she's interacting with them, which is a great function of our neuro station, to try to gain either a further excursion or work a certain quadrant of motion. Bring you back to where you were here. Now, right now, she's getting some data recorded. She's not only getting data recorded for which pod is the time that she has to react to it appropriately, but also the color that that pod was, and if she's having any deficits with maybe some particular color fields. Okay, and when they flash pink, that means that game is all done with its time. All right, so that's random mode. Again, you can select more than one pod at a time. You can make these faster or slower. You can change the variability of when they're coming on. You can change the variability of where you want these pods for the patient to interact with them. all on a neuro station. If you don't have a neuro station, you can always use the magnetized or the Velcro backing and put them around the place that you're interacting with, and have it be more of a convenient setup, maybe in a home environment.